What's going on YouTube? In today's video, we're going to be talking about security systems. So some of you already know that I really like the Wyze lineup. I really like their V2 camera, their V3 camera, and a few of their other different devices. I do use quite a few different devices of theirs, the vacuum, the outlets, that type of jazz. A few years ago, they released their Wyze Sense program, or the device, and it's like a little brain or a hub that plugs in the back of the Wyze 2, the version 2 camera, so that way it can get powered. And then you get sensors like you get a door sensor, or not just a door sensor, but you can get multiple door sensors, all the way up to quite a few of them, and you can get motion sensors. So that way you can be alerted for motion and if a door's opened or closed. Well, they since then discontinued that, the first generation of that, and now they've come out with their home monitoring system. So Wyze has actually partnered with Noonlight. So what Noonlight is a third-party company that Wyze is going to utilize. They're going to utilize quite a few of their APIs. So that way you have someone, if someone were to trigger a motion sensor or a door sensor, when you have your system armed, it'll allow them to call the first responders. Their previous system didn't have that. So you'd get alerted, but there's nothing you really could do about it. You'd have to call yourself. So what's really nice is powering up with a big company called Noonlight. They're going to be able to provide you a security system, kind of like what SimpliSafe does, only for cheaper. So here's how cheap it is. For $5 a month, you get home monitoring with Wyze through Noonlight. SimpliSafe is $15+ a month, depending on what kind of service you get with them. Not only that, but for $59 or $60, I guess you could say, you get their starter package. So it comes with 2 door sensors, a motion sensor, a keypad, and a home hub base. So with SimpliSafe, I think it's like $200 plus just to get the bare minimum like this does. And you can even build a kit with this, with Wyze, and same with SimpliSafe. So I'll go ahead and link the products in the description below, or the kits. That way you can check out the different types of kits they have, as well as you can check out current pricing if they changed it at all. Now, let's go ahead and check and see what you get in the box. Now I'm unboxing this real quick to show you. I don't know why they made it so difficult to get these items out of the box. It almost makes you tear the box open. So I just wanted to show you, this is the size of the box that you see here. Look how small the items are in here. If that tells you anything, it's all compact. All right, so it comes with the user manual. It's a quick guide here. Kind of shows you how to set it up. You get 2 protected by Wyze home monitoring stickers, so you can put on the window or your door. So it comes with a USB-A to micro USB power cord here, and then a USB-A power brick. So I wanted to see how long this actually was to tell you guys. I think it's about 5 feet. So that's pretty long for a power cord. Then you get an Ethernet cable, so that way you can plug in the hub through Ethernet if you want to. So you have drywall anchors and drywall screws, so that way you can mount the keypad to the wall if you want to, if you don't want to use the double sticky tape. So here's the hub. It's got 2 antennas here that are movable, and then a little fabric up on the top here. It's pretty small, as you can see here. Much bigger than the one that they had previously, but this one actually gets powered by its own power brick, and it also controls a lot more than the previous one. Now, as you can see on the back here, it comes with a Ethernet plug here, the power plug, and the reset switch. So pretty minimal on the back, which is, I guess, nice in itself. Now, I will say one thing you need to note is it does have a Ethernet plug, but you can also connect this device, or the home hub, via Wi-Fi to your network if you wanted to. So that way you can get this closer to your sensors if your router or anything like that is all the way on one side of the house and you want to get this in the middle, or vice versa. So a little bit about the hub. It does connect up to 100 sensors. So you can only do 100 sensors. That's quite a few sensors. So if you have a mansion with 100 doors, you might be screwed. But 100 sensors is quite a few sensors. So you're probably not limited to that. Now, all sensors, this has about a 500-foot range from the hub. So like I said, with the Ethernet cable, if your modem or your Wi-Fi router is in the middle of the house, then you're great. You can just hook this directly up. If you want to hook this up via Wi-Fi, you can, so you can get it closer to any of the sensors if you're having any issues. Now, this does have an 88 decibel siren, so it's fairly loud. It's not super loud by any means, but it's pretty good. The intruder is going to hear it. So this does have a 10-hour battery backup. That's pretty useful, but the only way for that to be super useful is if the rest of your network is battery backup too. Unfortunately, this does not have any cellular backup. So that's one thing that they'll eventually, I don't know if they will upgrade that or not in the future, but it's probably something they're gonna look into. So if your network goes down and you have an intruder, you're probably gonna have you're gonna have an issue. So then you have their keypad. So this is actually pretty small and compact. There is no screen on this, but you go through your app on your phone mostly anyways for the screen. So that's one thing to note. There's no screen and you can't really tell if there's any doors open or anything like that through this. So is it a problem? Probably not. But just so you know, there's no screen to this. It does have a home, disarm, and away button at the top. So that way you can manually press the buttons if you want to, as well as the keypad. So that way when you come in through the house and you want to disarm, you put in your passcode to disarm it here. Now it does have a siren button or an alert button on the side. So that way if you're next to it or if an intruder comes in the house and you can get to this, you can press that and it will alert the siren on your hub and it'll key for the first responders call. Now another thing, like I said earlier, is this can be mounted by the bracket with it screwed into the wall, or you can even mount this bracket to the wall via their 3M sticky tape. 3M sticky tape is my favorite. I will never use double sticky tape or anything like that to stick anything of value on the wall or anything like that without it being 3M. So good job, Wyze. Glad you did that. So then you have the keypad here. So there's a home, away, and disabled button on the top. And then also you got all the numbers and the X and the confirm button. So that way you can type in your passcode and disable the system. Or you can even arm the system, and then you can also arm it if you're home. So that way if you go to bed at night, you can arm it. So that way if the door sensor moves, or not moves, but the door opens, or a motion sensor picks up anything, it will set the alarm off, and you're covered. Now also this does get powered by 3 AAA batteries that last up to 18 months. So I would say that's pretty accurate for how long they last, because there really isn't a whole lot that this thing does other than sending a signal to the hub. Then you get the door sensor. So you get 2 of these in the basic kit, fairly decent size, and not too bad. Very skinny size on the magnet side. So that way you can actually get this onto like a door or windowsill, or even a sliding glass door that I have. I noticed I have one of these, not one of these, but another one of these from a different company, and it was hard to get this or this where I need it to. And since I have a skinny version of this, a very skinny version of this, it was easier to put this on my sliding glass door. But either way, this is powered by 1 AAA battery only, or each door sensor. Now, this does record or does tell you what the state is, open or closed, as well as it tells the system if it's stayed open for how long, as well as how long it's been closed. So you can get both just open and close, as well as if it stayed open or stayed closed. So here's the motion sensor. And they did a really smart thing with this. They put double sticky tape on the very back, on the flat side, as well as on the sides here. So you get the, I don't know what angle this is, maybe 45 degrees. But if you got a corner, a 90-degree corner, you can double sticky this to the corner. That way you don't have to put it on a flat surface. They say to put this 7 feet high, so that way you can catch most of the motion in the room. It does catch motion up to 25 feet, and you get a 120-degree field of view. Field of view. So you have 25 feet distance and 120-degree field of view, so to catch the motion. Now, another thing is they say this is pet friendly. So if you have a pet, it should not pick up the dog, cat, fish. Now, like I said, you can connect up to 100 sensors to the version 2 hub here. So that's nice. That way you can scale the system at any time. So you can start with the starter package, and then you can scale it as whatever you want. They sell, I think they sell the motion sensor in single packs, and then they sell the door sensors in, I think, 2 or 3 packs. That way you can get a little discount, and you can build your system as you see fit. And another cool thing is, I know I keep saying another and another and another. You just keep getting stuff. Wyze, since they have their own security cameras, you can seamlessly hook up the cameras to the system because it's already in the Wyze app. And so if you get motion, you can select which cameras record. So if you have one in your kitchen and it gets motion, you can select your camera to record. That way it can record on motion events, as well as opening the door or closing the door. I don't know why you do close the door, but you can set to record if a door opens. So all the cameras you have in your house from Wyze are outside. If your house senses motion or a door opens, you can set whatever camera you want, or I think multiple cameras maybe, to start recording. That way you can capture what happened while you're away. Now to get to the 24/7 monitoring from Noonlight. So you'll have to go to, there's a website you go to and you go ahead and sign up for the package. So you can pay for $5 a month, and I think you get a little discount if you pay for a full year. So that's nice if you pay for the full year, but $5 a month is not too much money, and there's no contract. So you can go ahead and cancel at any time. And then if you cancel, this is not useless. Kind of like SimpliSafe, this isn't useless. If you wanted to cancel, you didn't really care about the monitoring system, maybe you had it for a little bit and you don't care about it, you can still use this to know when there's motion or a door opens. So that way you can use it for your smart home system and you don't have to pay for the monitoring system. So now you want to know if an alarm is triggered. What happens? What do you do? How does it work? So I'll tell you. Once it triggers the alarm, if say it's set up and the door opens or motion senses, what's going to happen is you're going to get an alert on your phone that it happened. Then you're going to have Noonlight reach out to you. Then you're going to get a text message within 5 seconds asking if it was a false alarm. If you don't respond to that text message, you're going to get a phone call. And then if you don't answer that phone call, then what's going to happen is they're going to actually send first responders out. Well, also, if you do receive that phone call or a text message, you can tell them, hey, this is a real emergency, send someone out. So there also is a safe word, I believe. So if they call you, you can tell them the safe word and then it'll disarm the system for you. But if it goes through all three of those, then they send out, oh, not all three, but all two of those, they text you. If you don't respond, they give you a phone call. If you don't respond to that, then they go ahead and send someone out to check out the place. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and get this all set up on my phone. And I'm going to show you a little around the app so that way you can see, kind of get a feel of what the app looks like and how it functions. Now I know if you have Wyze products already, it's the same app and it's very similar, but it's a little bit different because now you have the cameras and the sensors and all that in a certain location. Actually, it's in two different locations, in the main location as well as in the monitoring location. Kind of confusing, but there's different settings in different locations. All right, so on the app, as you can see here, here's the list of items that we have for Wyze. So you can see my cameras, you can see that I have a kitchen motion sensor, and then I have a back door that's currently closed. So if I go ahead and open it up, it will go ahead and update. See how quickly it updated? Yep, not too bad. Go ahead and close that. It updated quicker when I closed it. Now, granted, it's right here and the hub's right here, so it didn't have too far to travel, but that is actually how quickly it does activate or tell you when something's happening. And as you can see, I got a notification when the back door opened and then when the back door closed. You can set that up so that way you don't get an alert for the back door closing if you don't want to know that, or even opening. And same thing for the motion. Right now, there's motion in the kitchen because that's the motion sensor right here. But you can set that up. It'll alert you if there's motion, and then also alert you when it's not had any motion for so long. Now you can go into each individual item here. As you can see here, we'll go to the motion sensor, and you can actually set up different things about the motion sensor. So we can set the sensitivity level. We can set what cameras it utilizes if we need to. We can also set up automations and schedules for it if you wanted to. And then same thing for the door sensor. So we'll go into the door sensor, and it tells you what the current state is and history. And we can go to shared sensor, or the sensor videos, and the schedule and automations. Obviously there's no sensitivity level to the door because it's either open or closed. So that's how you would set up all that and fine tune that to how you need it. Now for home monitoring, setting up all the passcode and all how long this is going to take for you to leave the house and all that type of stuff, that's all done in the home or the monitoring side on the bottom. Now you do have front door and Wyze Hub. You can go into those if you want to, and it'll tell you what's set up on that. And then also you can do the volume and status lights and see if you want to turn that off if you want to. You don't have to. Same thing for the front door. It just tells you what the device info is, Wyze support, making sure that it doesn't need a firmware update. Now, if you go to the monitoring section, this is where the nitty-gritty is for the home monitoring setup. So right now it's disarmed, and then there's a home, and there's away. So I did set it up so that when you press home, it arms the system as if you're home, but it does arm the system so that way if anything happens, it'll set off the alarm or the siren. Now they give you you can modify the countdown for how long. So if I do, let's do on the app, I'll do it on the app. I'm gonna set it to away, and you'll see
system is arming.
It says system is arming, and then it can count down to 60 seconds. I'm gonna disarm that.
Disarmed.
But I have 60 seconds to leave the house, and that way that doesn't get set off for the motion sensor or anything like that. Now from the app, I can set up the alarm if I wanted to. I go ahead and trigger the alarm if I want to. I'm not going to. It's later at night, and I don't want to wake my family up. As you can see here, you can see the status of the system right from the app. So in here, you can drill down to the home and away and what sensors are being used for the home and away. So if you wanted to not set up any motion sensors when you click home, that's probably a smart idea to do. So that way you can just see if the door opens or not, or a window opens. That way you can just set it for home for at night. That way if someone has to get up to go to the bathroom or gets up because they're scared or whatever it is, it's not going to trigger a motion sensor. But if it's away, you can do both the motion sensor and the door sensors. Then they have monitoring certificate. So they'll send you something so that you can send to your home insurance that tells them that you have a home alarm system. That will most likely save you money on your monthly insurance for your house or yearly insurance, whatever you pay. So that might even save you enough money to pay for the system. That's worth it right there in itself. So you might want to look into that. Now, if you have any questions or opinions about the system, go ahead and put them in the comment section below. I don't know why I say opinion about the system. I need to stop doing that. I always say, if you have any questions, comments, or opinions about whatever I'm reviewing, you always get some, I want to say, jack leg or whatever in the comment section saying something stupid or off the wall. Oh well. But if you have any comments or questions about this system, go ahead and put in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll try to answer the best I can for any questions you have. If this is your first time to my channel, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.